Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up? This is the Motocross Supercross podcast, episode number 43, where we are going to break down the 250s in Seattle. I'm Adam, here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What's up, man?
Crazy race, man. I gotta say, I think there was a handful of doubles the whole night. But besides that, it was the slowest, sloppiest,
Definitely no triples.
thing ever. And it was my favorite race so far this year.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting, man. It was good to see a different view of this sport. You know, it's who could stay up the longest, I guess. Not really who was the fastest, or it was more about, as Mr. Jeff Emig would say, stand up on the pegs.
Dude, it was a little bit of everything, because you really had to be good to do good in this race. I want to see they should just throw a random person in on the track to just do a lap, just so everyone can see oh, that's what a random person looks like out there. Because it might have looked like they were going slow, but I feel like if anyone else is out there, it's over, man.
Yeah, I don't think we needed to throw anyone out there. That's the thing, though. I think we can pretty much see that it was just a mess. It was just hell out there, man. It was a crazy night. It was a crazy race, and on both classes, 450 and 250. But today we're only going to touch up on the 250, and then we'll touch up on the 450 of the next podcast, just because there's so much shit to talk about.
So much. And I've done mud races like this before, where it's just super sloppy, super, super muddy. Obviously, probably not like what we witnessed during the Seattle race, but I kind of know what it's like. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
But just that it was just crazy. You have to remember, it was also raining the entire night too.
Yeah, it was a lot of water. There was mud, and more mud, man. There was no. It literally rained all day, all night.
And those ruts were deep, deep. And if you weren't in the rut, it was just sloppy.
Yeah, it was wet. Or if you're not in the track, it was just bad. If you just get out of the track for a little bit, you were in the mud.
Yeah, because they're pushing all the dirt, all the extra mud. They would just push it on the side of the track. And then you go off the track, you end up right in it, and you're done. And we saw that happen a couple times. So let's jump right into this. One couple changes that they made was they cut the mains short. So
we'll get there. We'll get there when we talk about the main.
Okay.
Well, first off, like we said on our past podcast, we only had one practice and one qualifying only.
Yep.
So that already made it hard. This was probably one of the worst races to be at for opening ceremonies, due to the fact that they couldn't, go out and be in the stands and do wheelies and all this crap. They just kind of open up the podium and they just kind of came out right there.
just wave from the podium.
Yeah,
they don't want to get dirty before they get out there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Now that you say that, it was so bad that they forced the riders not to wear their rain jackets due to the fact that they weren't going to be able to read the numbers. And since they were so muddy, they were just going to go with the back of the jersey, even though they do have the transponders. But sometimes they get lost, especially with this weather or these conditions of racing. They fall or something, so they were gonna also do it manually, which is very old school, but that's how they used to do it, and they definitely did it last night. So that was another cool fact about last night. I don't know about cool fact, but
no, it's definitely interesting because it was cold last night too. It was a little chilly. It was a little on the chilly side, so they're like, "Hey, no jackets, you're screwed."
Yeah, they were just hoping to be able to read the back of the jersey. So they were forced to wear no jackets, and they were forced to wear a jersey with a number in the back.
That's not really too much to ask of these guys, because everyone pretty much already, they all already have their numbers on the back of their jerseys, and I don't think anyone would have worn a jacket out there, but maybe they might have. Actually, Anderson in practice, he was lining up and he had his jacket on. He was going to ride, and then he remembered he had to take it off.
Yeah, he forgot about it.
So he takes it off, and then he's behind everyone, and he pulls up and just gets roosted in the face.
Dude, that was such a bad like. What were you thinking doing that? He just he pulled up, and I could see. I think it was Wilson also like waiting behind, but he was way farther back, and he was just kind of like looking at Anderson, kind of like, "What the hell are you doing, bro?
Don't do it. Don't do it."
Oh, too late.
Yeah, so he got blasted in the face right there to start practice.
So bad.
If you look at our Instagram at MXSX Podcast, there is a couple practice videos on there from a couple crashes. It was Dylan Merriam and Adam Cianciarulo, and then Jason Anderson, little video of him crashing there. You can watch on our Instagram, or you can watch that video on his Instagram. So
yeah, that's right.
But let's jump right into this 250 race. Like I said, there's a lot to go over. So much happened, and yeah, it was very exciting. So 250 Heat 1. Dude, the entire Racetrack Supercross team was in this heat. Did you notice that?
I did not, but that's pretty unfortunate, I guess.
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate for them because we had Noah McConaughey was in this one, Michael Lieb, Blake Wharton, Martin Costello. That's all four of them right there. Yep. So they were all in this race, and from the start, I was like, all right, can all of them make it in? I don't know, maybe. But so the whole shot happens. Oldenburg gets the whole shot. He looked pretty good. We'll talk a little bit about his night towards the end.
And also, before everything, it was going to be an interesting race when Brandon Leith was having the best time.
The fastest qualifying time.
The fastest qualifying time on the 250, followed by Jess Petty's and then Dylan Merriam. Those were your top three fastest qualifiers for this race. So that right there should tell you something.
Yeah, it's crazy because they were all in the 250B practice, and the 250B practice went out first, and they were just like, all right, hurry up, get a fast line in before any of these ruts develop, and it worked for them. So Definitely. It was funny watching them getting first gate pick. They were getting first gate pick, second gate pick.
Good for them. They're like, I don't even know how to start on the inside. How do I do this?
Yeah. Leith, though, he had his own problems. So, but that was in the second heat. But
all right, so heat one. Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, heat one. Mitchell Oldenburg had a really good jump on everyone. He had the whole shot, and right behind him, Martin Costello from that Racetrack Supercross team. So out of all the riders, I would not have picked him to be second, but he was up there, and I was like, all right, good for him. That's what's up. But there was a couple crashes in this first turn. Pettis, who you just talked about, having that second fastest time, also being a member of my fantasy team this weekend. Yeah, it was not the best pick, but so he crashed at the beginning of the turn, before the turn even really started. He was down. And I watched this thing in slow motion 5 times because I was trying to see the numbers and then trying to figure out what happened. But Costello, he blasts mud right into Nicoletti's face, who was in third at the time, right into his face.
Dirty move right there.
No, man, he was just going for it. He's just wide open like everyone else, but everyone was getting blasted in the face. But anyways, so he gets hit in the face, and he's still wide open and literally crashes 10 feet later, towards the end of that first turn. So before the first turn, there was already 2 people down. And Nicoletti, we'll talk about him later, obviously. But yeah, so it's good to note that he went down in that first turn.
Yeah,
Sue was running. Yeah, go for it.
No, I was gonna say, he did go down in the first turn. Another point in this heat, McElrath having problems too with his bike. Dakota Alex also having bike problems. They reheat it due to all this mud and all this clutching and all this, not going anywhere.
Yeah, this weather really, I was trying to think, before the race, I was thinking in my head, whose bike is like who's not gonna make it? Whose bike? We've seen the Geico bikes, I think a couple years ago, have their problems. So I wasn't sure, who was gonna get the old bike overheating clutch bug, and we'll get into that.
I can tell you who did though.
Who?
AC, man. AC
Yes.
with problem with his clutch. His bike got pretty much stuck in the mud, and he just kind of gave up, and he left it there, and it was just standing. That's how much mud it was on it,
Yeah, I want to make a video called Ghost Bikes, where it's just all the bikes just standing straight up with no one on them.
That's exactly how it was. It was just sitting there, and there was no movement or nothing. It was just in the middle of the track, and he was just chilling on the side, like I don't know what to do. So
yeah. So before we really even get into that, there was a couple other things at the end of that first rhythm section. Blake Wharton fell, right there in like that second turn. But I'm pretty sure everybody fell. It was just like if the camera followed you long enough, you were gonna fall.
Yeah, they will catch you for sure. Yeah.
But even though it was muddy, super muddy, we did see some good battles. We saw before AC had his problems, him and McElrath, they were battling a little bit. He actually passed McElrath like right before that third turn. All this like first lap stuff going on. Oldenburg, then he like cased this double and he fell down. And then Costello fell down right next to him, like literally right next to him. Because they show them both down. You're like, oh, crap, they must have hit or something. But it was like, no, they actually both just fell in the exact same spot, like right next to each other.
Yep.
But Oldenburg, he got up super, super fast. So it was like he only lost like a position or two. So Adam Cianciarulo, Oldenburg, McElrath was in third. Oldenburg, he got a little hung up in the whoops though, and then that's whenever McElrath passed him for second. At that point, Dakota Alex, who also had some problems, he was in third place. Sexton was in fourth place. Oldenburg was in fifth. So that's a really good heat race if you think about it for like Alex. Sexton, he's been really good all year.
Yeah, Sexton with a solid heat race for sure.
Yeah, really solid. Actually, a solid night. But Oldenburg, then he was like catching everyone. He passed Alex in the whoops, but then he went down again. So Oldenburg, he found the ground a lot. McElrath and AC were still battling, and McElrath actually passed AC back, like straight up. There was no bumping or grinding or anything. It wasn't it was nothing spectacular, but
well, it wasn't, because they were going pretty slow.
Yeah, it was like everything's a slow. Yeah, so he did get by him. But then McElrath, he got stuck in the rut. That inside rut right there was like super deep.
Yeah.
And this is the first heat. It was already so deep. And he just got stuck in it. And then Adam Cianciarulo just goes right around him. And that's when his clutch died. And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. He knew there was nothing he could do. That was it.
He did say something on his in his Instagram about it. He was just, he was not very happy, but he was just glad that everything worked out. And,
yeah, I got it right here. He said, "Interesting evening in Seattle, to say the least. Rookie mistake, frying the clutch in the heat. That's on me. But my team absolutely killed it with a motor swap plus a few other changes in a very short amount of time before the LCQ." Obviously he swapped out his whole motor and stuff, and it was just a brutal track. It was just brutal for that.
Yeah, so, I wonder why. Okay, so obviously they're only allowed to register one bike, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a frame. I think they do the frame number or something.
Okay, yeah, the frame. Exactly. It's got to be the frame, because if they're swapping motors over here, then that doesn't really, because I can go and register a bike and then just swap a motor and then just have a 450 motor on a 250, So
I think they do like inspections and stuff, and I'm sure they
of course
protest each other.
Yeah, kind of like they do, when they do AMA races around here.
Right.
You're not allowed. You have to register a frame or a bike, and that's the one that you can only use that one.
That's
So
right.
That's why whenever we were in the Indianapolis and Plessinger had those problems right before the start. I don't know if you guys remember, but he had
his
the problem
clutch or something was messed up.
Yeah, they didn't like turn on the valve or whatever. But if it would, if it wouldn't have come on, he would have been screwed. Like they wouldn't be able to bring another bike in or whatever. So there you go.
Yeah, I know. Like my friend who does the drag racing, like they swap out entire motors and stuff each run. Each time he does a run, they put a new motor in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they'll take 12 motors with them to a race. Okay, so anyways, Adam Cianciarulo, obviously, he has his problems. His bike's standing straight up. No one's touching it. It's stuck in the mud. His clutch is done. You see him spinning it and stuff. Nothing's happening. He shrugs his shoulders. He's just on the side of the track just watching at this point. Dakota Alex falls. This was like a theme of the night. We already saw it with Martin Costello and Oldenburg. But then we see it here with Adam Cianciarulo's bike, and then Dakota Alex falls right in front of his bike. It was like, oh, you're down right here? Well, let me join you. Boom.
Let me see what this is.
Yeah, I can't let you be alone here, man. No one crashes alone. So the Supercross family shows up, so he falls right in front of him. And then Sexton, he's winning this race, right? Sexton is like, boom, AC's had his problems. McElrath has his problems. Sexton is about to win this race. Last lap, he goes down. And then Nicoletti, who falls in the first turn after getting blasted in the face with mud, comes back, wins this race. The crowd goes crazy. It was insane. That race had my mind blown.
Yeah, that was also his first heat win, so good for him. Congratulations.
Yeah, so Philip Nicoletti took the win. Chase Sexton salvaged second place. Chase Marquier, probably one of the best finishes for him, third place. Shane McElrath fourth. Mitch Oldenburg fifth. Dakota Alex sixth. Josh Mosselman seventh. Noah McConaughey, there's your racetrack Supercross guy, eighth. And then Talon LaFontaine.
LaFontaine.
I don't know. No, I think I had it right. LaFontaine. From California. He got that final spot right there, ninth place. So who didn't qualify? Michael Lieb, he got 12th. Chris Howell, he was another one of my fantasy picks, got 13th. That was a bad pick by me. Not good. Adam Cianciarulo, even though he didn't even finish the race, he still got 14th because he lapped so many people.
Insane.
Martin Costello got 15th. Blake Wharton, 18th. Pettis, 17th. So a lot of problems for a lot of people. 422, who is that? Philip Klakow, he was penalized 2 positions. It doesn't say why, but he was penalized 2 positions, and it didn't really matter because he got 16th, so he still wouldn't have qualified. But yeah, that first race, it was crazy. The crowd, Seattle is nuts, man. Like, I want to go to Seattle next year because
he probably went down and just kind of cut through the track, kind of like what we're gonna talk about in the next heat with Savachi.
Yeah, it had to be something like that. These people fall down. They're just like, I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna turn around. My bike's already facing this way. It's on the track. I should just go.
Yep.
There should be a rule around that though, because that sucks. If they really want people to turn around and go backwards on the track, and then turn around and go forward.
Well, the rule is you're supposed to get on wherever you got off, and then you're not supposed to make any passes.
That's the rule is get on at the quickest and safest point.
Yeah.
But I mean, if your bike's already on and you just go straight and then they penalize you, what if you could if you're once you get back on, you just stop for 3 seconds, a 3 count, 1, 2, 3, and then you go. Then it's all right, you're good. You acknowledge that you didn't go back or something.
You put your hand in the air. You put your hand in the air and you go with your finger 1, 2,
a little signal.
3.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and then you do whenever you ask for shots for everyone, you round up everyone Yeah.
Or you count like 1 with your fingers. 1, 2,
That's what I'm
3.
saying. You go
Thumbs
you go
up.
1, 2, 3, and then you round up. You're like, woo!
Yeah, little like lasso, cowboy lasso, and then you're just
Yeah.
like boom, then you're going. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
rule. Look at us here making the sport a better place right here.
A better sport.
So yeah, that was great Heat 1. We're gonna jump right into Heat 2. Obviously still raining. It rained the whole day, real sloppy.
Yeah, I ran all night.
Savachi though, he's turning kind of into that hole shot king, you know. Well, actually, it looked like he was gonna get the hole shot because he had such a great jump. But then Mitchell Harrison ended up like edging him out. He got the whole shot, and Plessinger was right behind him with a little inside pass right there.
Yep.
And then Savachi he was faster than Harrison, made a past him for second. And then we see my other fantasy pick, Dylan Merriam, pushing his bike off. So yeah, I did not have a good fantasy week at all.
Dylan Merriam or Summerlin?
Merriam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He got 17th.
Something happened to Summerlin too?
No. He got 6th.
Okay, yeah. So Merriam, he was pushing his bike off, my fantasy pick. Not good. And then Savachi, that's when Savachi went down in the whoops. And when he got up in the whoops, he was like already on the track, and we were just kind of talking about it, and he just kind of just went down the straightaway.
He didn't do the signal. He should have.
He didn't do the signal. He should have done the signal. Did they end up docking him for that?
Yeah, they did.
They did. Yep, 2 positions. So that must be what happened in the first heat. So yeah, they did dock him 2 positions. It's not the worst penalty, but
no, they docked him 2 positions. He was still able to qualify, but that put our boy Justin Sterling in second place for the heat win, or the heat race. Sorry.
Yeah, second place. Yeah, it was a great race for Starling. It was just he was just feeling it. You know, you could just tell he was just feeling it.
Yeah, it was a great night. He was pumped throughout the whole day, throughout the whole night. He was really looking forward to it. Even like before the show when they do the Supercross Live or whatever it's called, he was super pumped. Then whenever they interview him, so it was gonna be a good night. You could just tell he could tell. So
some people in the mud just like. They just feel it. They just they just do it, you know. And then some people
Florida,
like Christian Craig. Whew.
Plus, he's from Florida. Florida, you get those type of races, especially like places like Gatorback or like my old track. You get wet, man, and it's just gonna get muddy. I raced a Gatorback muddy one time, and I fell. Actually, I fell on the start. And our friend JJ, I don't know, you remember JJ?
Oh,
he fell down right before the drop. And I remember doing the Costello move on him.
You blast him in the face?
Yeah, I blasted him in the face. Like I passed him and I said, a couple things, and I just went brrr, and I blasted him right before we do the drop. So
Dude,
it was pretty.
I've been
fun.
there for Minios one year, and it was a complete mud fest. Like the golf carts couldn't even make it up like one of the like hills in the pits, and it wasn't even like a hill. It was like barely like slanted up, but like it was just so nasty. Like they couldn't even make it up. And we would just stand out in front of like the little main road and just watch people just wipe out right in front of us. Everyone just gathered around drinking, just watching people crash, just riding down the road.
Well, you weren't drinking then, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't drinking then, but I mean, people were. I'm just saying, people.
People around you.
Yeah.
We're getting back. We're getting out of track here. Let's
We are.
Go back
So Plessinger won. He did a sick no footer. He didn't get any air at all, but he just kind of jumped up and did a no footer.
He attempted the no footer on the landing of the finish line.
He's another one of those guys who was just feeling it. He was just feeling it.
Yeah,
he's
usually pretty good in tracks that get pretty rotty. So
yeah, so Aaron Plessinger's got first. Justin Starling got second. Oh, real quick, one thing I wanted to say about that when you were saying how all these Florida people ride in the mud and stuff. I remember at your track, every time it rained, like people would show up with their bikes and they wouldn't even unload it because they're like, down here in Florida, they're spoiled where, we ride every day. I'll just sit this one out, you know.
Yeah.
In
it's
Ohio,
gonna be
you
sunny
drive 3
tomorrow.
hours to the track. You're like, shit, I'm going to ride, you know.
You have to.
So Mitchell Harrison got third. Savacci, after being penalized, got fourth. Justin Hill, hometown boy, kind of. Not really. I mean, Oregon, Washington, same area, but still a little trek. Still his hometown
Home
race,
race.
though. Fifth
Yeah.
place. Who you were talking about, Dylan Summerlin, another kind of hometown. He's from Oregon as well. He got sixth. Chase Blackburn from Washington got seventh. Hayden Melrose, Melross, my bad, got eighth. And Brandon Leith, your fastest qualifier, made it into the main, ninth place. So that's good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, he was my pick. I picked him for my fantasy, and he did me well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I should have picked him. I was looking at him, and I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, Hayden Melross, also considered a Florida boy now. He's actually pretty close to Orlando.
Yeah, Claremont, and he's from Australia though.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Originally, but yeah, Brandon Leith, he's got 0 sponsors listed. 0. So that kind of threw me off. I was like,
Well, he had the fastest lap. He
I
can say
know.
that now.
Yeah, fastest lap in the first practice. But yeah, so that's how it was. No Dylan Merriam. That's like probably one of the other biggest names in there. But yeah, that
Kyle
was Heat
Chisholm
2.
didn't make it either. And those are about it for that heat.
Yeah, it was Aaron Plessinger, start to finish, boom.
Yeah, Aaron Plessinger from start to finish, he won that, and then
LCQ?
yeah.
All right, let's jump into this LCQ then. Right before the gate drops, we see, I don't want to mess his name up. His name is Deegan von Losberg.
Deegan von Losberg.
Deegan von Losberg from Palmdale, California. Like literally 2 seconds before the gate drops, he's kicking his bike. And he must have started that bike like freaking a millisecond before that gate dropped. It was like a woods race, like where you start it up and go. He started it up and he went, and it seems like every time someone has problems like that, they always get the whole shot. So,
He did too.
Yeah. Well, he was second place start behind Adam Cincerulo.
Yeah.
Kyle Chisholm was in third. Pettis was in fourth. Adam Cincerulo obviously dominated this race. He was dominating the
As he
heat before he had his
should.
problems, so he got all those fixed, and he was probably a little conservative on that clutch this time.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
Yeah, so he just dominated this race start to finish.
Yeah. It's weird to
Howell-
see him on the LCQ, but good for him taking the win and demonstrating that he's a factory rider, and he got 18 seconds in front of second place. So
Yeah, exactly. And second place was Jess Pettis.
Yep.
So it was good that he made it in. One person, my other fantasy pick, Howell, on the start, he was holding it wide open, and he started getting sketchy, and he made it halfway through the first turn before he goes down, and then he gets hit by Blake Wharton, and Blake Wharton gets shot straight right, and then kind of goes off the track, and I think he hit at least one person, maybe 2 people, and then he goes down. So that kind of ended it for Blake Wharton. So he wasn't able to come back. He got 5th place. He just couldn't come back that last position. So that really sucks for him.
yeah, there was a lot of riders that went down in this LCQ.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
it was hard to keeping track of them. It was really hard.
Definitely.
But yeah, so Dylan Merriam, we saw him. He was in 5th, and he goes down behind Chisholm. So my other fantasy pick didn't make it in. Not good. And some other riders who didn't make it in. Martin Costello
Yep.
didn't make it in. Michael Lieb didn't make it in. Blake Wharton didn't make it in.
Bryce Stewart didn't make it in. He's also a veteran.
Yep,
of the
Howell.
sport.
Von Losberg. Yep, they just didn't make it in. So there is a lot of local names on here, I see. But Yeah, it was the Adam Cincerulo show. Everyone kind of expected that. Kyle Chisholm was scary moments for him. He's coming pretty close to not making it in, but he made it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, like we said, Adam Cincerulo took the win. Jess Pettis with the second place. Chisholm with third place, and then Keel Russell with the fourth place. And then Blake Wharton right outside that bubble, man.
Yep, that's too bad. That is just way too bad. He wasn't even really close. He was 10 seconds behind Russell. So
yeah,
just a bad weekend for him. I'll check the Instagram to see if he's commented on it, because I'm sure he's just not too happy. Yeah, no, he didn't say anything. We'll give him another day or two to come to terms. But yeah, it was a good race. It was still cool, and it really built up for this 250 main. We knew it was going to be nasty. We knew it was going to be sloppy, and they cut the time down from 15 minutes plus a lap to 12 minutes plus a lap.
To 8 minutes. The 250 was 8 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, 8 minutes plus a lap?
Yeah, they cut it 8 minutes plus a lap, and it kind of sucked. So
okay, so do they originally go 12 minutes plus a lap? And
they go 15 in the lap.
Okay, because I thought I saw something that said 12 minutes plus a lap.
The 450s got cut to 12.
Oh, I thought they were cut to 17.
No. They got cut to 12 plus a lap.
Damn. Yeah, so I thought it did go by really short, because I was like, oh, it's over already?
Yeah, Aaron Plessinger only did 8 laps. So
what do you think of that? Do you think it's a good idea to cut down those laps?
I don't know if good idea would be,
because I mean it's already a time. It's like by time. It's like, hey, we have this amount of time. We just do this amount of time plus one lap. So it's like it's still the same amount of time pretty much. Maybe like an extra of maybe 30 seconds for them to do that last lap.
It would have been, double the time. I think they did it more because of the bikes and stuff, not really for the safety, because there was really nothing like dangerous about it. It was more.
Oh, dude, this was the safest race you could ever have.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they just did it because of the bikes, being able to not last the whole race.
Well, that's lame. Are you telling me no one's bike would last? It'd be the factory guys who just get every little inch out. It'd be all the factory guys out, and then the.
I mean, look at Cincerulo. He was in the heat race. And the heat race is only like what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes plus a lap. So.
Yeah, 5 minutes plus a lap.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
6 minutes. 6 minutes plus a lap in the heat.
So he didn't even make it then. So.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's more than riding at that point. It's like, yo.
And it got worse when we got to main event time. So.
Oh yeah, those ruts. That track was insane. That would have been a good one to walk after and just be like, damn. Just look at it and said, damn. All right, let's jump into this 250 main. Like I said, there was been a lot to talk about. Because this race was shorter, there's not too much. But Plessinger got the whole shot. Sexton was right behind him. Adam Cincerulo, Oldenburg was right there, but then Oldenburg goes down at the end of that first rhythm and kind of loses a bunch of position. He went down early.
That sucks.
Yeah, Justin Hill got stuck in that same corner too, and Dakota Alex also had some problems there.
Hibachi also went down, and he got stuck under the bike.
Yeah, he got stuck under the bike. He hit the tough block, gets stuck under the bike. Sucks for him.
Got dropped all the way back to 19th.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. So, yeah, it was not a great moment for him. He was able to get back up, though, and get going again. But, yeah, that sucks. And whenever you fall like that, you just get caked in mud. Your bike gets caked in mud. It gets heavy. You spend so much energy trying to get it up. Your hand grips are all
another cool fact.
Nasty.
I know, that sucks, man. Whenever, you go down in the mud and then your grips get muddy and then you can't grab at all. That really sucked.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really interesting, and I didn't see anyone do it. Not Daniel, but the other guy from the Supercross Live show or whatever, the pre-show.
Jim Hawley.
Yeah, Jim Hawley. He was saying that back in the day they used to put sticks on the throttle or on the grips, so that way they'll have something to like grab on.
Sticks.
if they were to go down. And that, yeah, like they will like wire sticks to it, so that way you have something to grip on, like to grab on.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. Like I never thought about it until he said something about it last night, and I was like, and I'm surprised I didn't see anyone doing it. Actually doing that. Putting something across the grip for you to have more grip on it.
Oh, I'm sure they had their own thing, kind of some special grips or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it though. Like we're gonna use the special grips, or we're gonna use this, or we're gonna use that. I didn't see anything about it, but I just wanted to touch that on that. Another cool fact on this main event, I don't know if you noticed, but they removed the whoop section completely.
Really?
Yeah, they removed the whole whoop section. Nobody. I guess you didn't notice that either.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
Yeah, they removed the whoop section. So they just made like a straight. Like you can see how like the humps on the outside of the track, but in the middle it was nothing. There was nothing there. They removed it for the main. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. That was a good section. I like that. But yeah, it was just nasty. It was really nasty. Speaking of nasty, Nicoletti, he got stuck off the side of the track where they're pushing all that dirt, all that extra mud, probably part of the whoop section.
Talking about, yeah.
So he got stuck there. It was actually the same place. Someone in the 450s went down. Nagy went down that same place.
Yeah, but Nagy got stuck.
Yeah, Nicoletti was able to, throttle and push his way out of it.
Yeah.
Oldenburg, we saw him pass Chisholm for 6th. We saw Plessinger lap Savacci, who started working his way back up. I think he was in like maybe 12th or something whenever that happened.
Yep.
McElrath went off the track, and then Sexton moved to 2nd. Sexton said he didn't even know. He's like, didn't even know he was in 2nd. So
yeah, no, he said, I didn't even know I was in 2nd place until like 2 laps ago.
Yeah, McElrath just like blended in with the mud. He's camo out there. No one can see him. So yeah, that's a good surprise to get for Sexton whenever you finish that race.
Yeah,
like,
imagine what he felt
second?
whenever he
Sweet.
went. Imagine what he felt whenever he went by his mechanic. His mechanic said, "You're in 2nd place. Go."
He's like, "Oh shit."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this race. Plessinger won. He really pumped up the crowd, and
yeah, he did no footers throughout the last lap.
Yeah.
On all the jumps, he just kind of rolled everything with no footers.
Yep, he just had his feet out. He's just having a blast.
Yeah, did you see the belly flop at the end?
The belly
too?
flop, that's what I'm saying. He's pumping up the crowd. Come on, guys, get loud. And boom, belly flop.
You want me to get it here? Yeah, okay. So Aaron Plessinger with the win. Chase Sexton, 2nd place, his best career finish so far. Like we said, he didn't even know it. Adam Cianciarulo ended up getting 3rd. He ended up getting the podium even though he was in the LCQ. Shane McElrath, 4th place. Justin Starling, someone we talked about earlier, is 5th place.
Boom.
Also his best placed position on a main event. Oldenburg, 6th place. Mitchell Harrison, 7th place. Kyle Chisholm, 8th place. Justin Hill, 9th place. Hayden Melross in 10th. Filthy Phil, Nicoletti in 11th. Joey Savacci, we just talked about, 12th. Dylan Summerlin, 13th. Brandon Leith, your fastest time qualifier, 14th.
Would have been such a good fantasy pick. I'm kicking myself in the nuts for not picking him.
I picked him and Chase Marquier.
Oh.
Yeah, they were both plus 14s, so they got me a lot of points. Marquier had got 15th. Dakota Alex, he ended up 16th, running into a little bit of problems. Jess Pettis, 17th. Chance Blackburn, 18th. Kel Russell, 19th. Talon LaFontaine in 20th. Josh Mothman in 21st. And then Noah McConaughey, the IB Corps guy, in 22nd.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was an awesome race. It was really exciting. Plessinger still killing in the points now, 17 points up on Cianciarulo, who moved into 2nd. Savacci sitting there in 3rd with 153. McElrath in 4th. Sexton in 5th. Justin Hill 6th. Kyle Chisholm 7th. Christian Craig still in that 8th position.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
With 2 races, with 2 races less than the other guys.
That's right. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. Yeah, that was a good one. very exciting race in Seattle.
Don't forget to give us a follow at MXSX Podcast, guys. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do for us.